This episode of The Havery Show is being brought to you by Heartland Tax and Accounting, 863-385-5020. The following program is rated PG-13 and contains language and material that may be offensive to some audiences. On today's episode of The Havery Show, we have my friend Bob Cadzow. I don't even know where to start because you're a multifaceted guy. I'll tell you what, here's where I'd like to start right now. We had a very interesting conversation just 1 minute ago about your name, Ellis Island, and the whole... Tell me again about that because I found that fascinating.
Well, there's some debate about Cadzow, Cadzow. I mean, it's spelled C-A-D-Z-O-W, so... I find that most people that have never met me or they're going to say Cadzow. Somebody that's trying to telemarket, sell me something, it's going to be Cadzow. But my family's always said Cadzow.
And your family is originally from?
The name is Scottish. So there is a Scottish Gaelic letter that appears to be a Z in Roman, but it's a yow in that language. So people that came to Ellis Island came across, and when they were putting their name out, we didn't have that letter, so they got a Z, so that's where we got Cadzow from.
I'll be darned. When did your family come over from Scotland?
Ooh, I don't know about my dad's side very good. My mom has done lots and lots of good research on the Irish side. But if my dad knows, I probably need to ask him more.
Yeah.
Because we haven't studied that too much.
And your mom, of course, is a Gavaghan.
Gavaghan, which is the name of the pub that we opened last year or early this year.
How does she feel about having a pub named after her
Oh,
family
she
crest?
loves it. She's the matriarch of the family. She's the oldest of all the Gavaghans that we know. And she's 81 this year. Yeah. So she was very excited to have her dad on the wall and have her name and have the old farm. We have a picture of the Gavaghan farm.
Yeah.
And so it's exciting for us. It's exciting for me and my brother. I think the Ghosts were even excited for her. We put our name on it, but we're all partners in the project.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So from Ireland, Scotland to Ellis Island, do you know how everything works from there? Have you done any research into it?
Yeah, my mom has 3-ring binders that are 4 inches thick, full of research she's done that she's shared with me and my brother.
So, in a nutshell, how'd your folks meet?
My dad was in the military. He's from the Philadelphia area. My mom was from the Stamford, Connecticut area. Her family moved to Indian Rocks Beach when she was 9, and my dad was in the military. Sometime after he got out of the military, he came down to his parents had also emigrated moved to the state. Mm-hmm. They lived on the same road.
No,
they were some years apart, and they didn't really know each other early on.
Yeah,
but then they knew each other later. Yeah, my dad's 7 years older than my mom,
okay.
So they weren't 17 and 10 figuring things out, but they were 25 and 18.
Did they go to the same school over there?
No, but my dad never went to school in Florida.
Really? Okay.
He was here after the military.
Gotcha.
So after his
what branch did he serve in?
Army.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, he was a Nike radar site type tech, and then he worked for the phone company in Philadelphia, and then he worked for Honeywell for 37 years, the Space and Aeronautics division in Clearwater.
That's quite a resume.
37 years. Nobody does that anymore.
No.
Who works for a company for 37 years?
No. That's that whole thing is, sadly, I think it's a thing of the past for a number of reasons. But yeah, how did they? They're on the same street. How did they start connecting?
They met on the beach. Yeah, they were going to the beach on summer days or whatever.
Did they know each other that whole time? They're just because there was an age difference.
They didn't really know each other when my dad was young. He didn't come there until He was 21 or 22.
Okay.
So I think they met but didn't date. But then by 25 or 26, he and her, she was 19 or 20 and he was 25 and 26 or whatever.
See, I visualize this stuff in movie form.
Yeah.
So I'm wanting to know, when did they put two and two together? Oh, we're on the same street. Oh, we're neighbors. Oh. I'm dying to know that whole backstory.
And I think of that time in kind of a romantic way in my head, because I mean, it was early 1960s on a barely developed Indian Rocks
Oh, yeah.
beach. My mom's dad graduated retired from the Stanford Police Department when they moved down to Florida, and they wound up, the city hired him to be the first cop. They'd never had a police officer before. So he was the first cop in Indian Rocks Beach. He had to drive the family car because they didn't have a budget for a police car or anything.
Wow. He drove the family car.
He drove the family
That's
car.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And that's who's on the wall down at the pub.
So this is, I imagine, again, I'm a visual guy, so I'm imagining that the traditional Irish cop that you see in the movies, walking the beat, swinging the little billy club around.
Right.
Is that the guy?
I imagine. I mean, I like to think about that too.
Yeah.
I mean, he was gone before I was born, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He died shortly after my mom. He was there for my mom and dad's wedding, but yeah. 11 months later, he wasn't there when I was born. So I was born 11 months after they were married.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I never met him.
That's a loss. But I don't know that we realize how much of a loss it is because we've never known that.
Right.
I would not recognize a picture of my grandfather if you showed it to me. I wouldn't know what my grandmother looked like. Mm-hmm. Even my own father, I've got very few memories, and they're very hazy. And there's a palpable longing to know these people, these ancestors.
I believe it. I mean, I turned 60 this year, and I'm lucky enough to have my mom and my dad at 81 and 88 years old, and that's just who gets to do that.
Yeah.
I drove over last week and just went out to dinner with the two of them, and it was great. It was great. And how? Yeah, you don't get to do that.
No.
I got tons of friends that their dad died when they were 4.
Yeah.
That kind of number is like, just it makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like I got no, I can't even imagine that missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was my best man in both of my weddings. He's a great guy.
That's so cool.
Not having him.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So mom and dad meet Indian Rocks Beach. They settle down. They have Bob, and your brother's name is Bill, and he's the younger brother or older
He is
brother?
3 years younger.
Okay. Is that just the two of you?
That's what we thought for most of my life, and then we found out that my mom did have a son prior to my mom and dad getting together and getting married. So
Really?
yeah,
Have you reconnected?
Yeah.
No kidding.
great guy.
Wow, this is better and better every second.
We've
love
been
this.
lobstering in the Keys and out on the East Coast. And
How did that come about?
how did what come
Well,
about?
the finding out.
Well, so my understanding, and this may not be 100% true, but is when you're a young Catholic girl and you become pregnant, she went off to flight attendant school, and it wasn't flight attendant school. She went to the convent and had a baby and put it up with Catholic Charities, and came home from her education and started a whole different life kind of thing. So that gets buried away, that gets hidden. There's a lot of shame and all the things that go with that. And she was at a high school reunion, and her former boyfriend, the one that would have been the father of the baby, approached her and said that he had had a lot of health issues. A lot of them were congenital. They would likely be passed on to his offspring.
Yeah.
And had she ever had any contact or knew anything about the baby? And she hadn't. But that sparked an interest, so she reached out to Catholic Charities, and it takes two.
Yeah.
So the baby has to be interested and the mom had to be interested. And if they're both interested, then Catholic Charities shares that information. So that's how they found each other. So she went through that and was able to share with him the issues that the father had, but she hadn't seen that guy in decades,
Wow.
Crazy.
What a
But not crazy.
story. But not
it's
crazy.
not an uncommon story.
No, it
it's
isn't.
just not a common story to hear, apparently.
What makes me sad is, and I grew up Catholic, so I can speak to this firsthand.
Correct.
Is and this isn't the case, I'm sure, for all Catholics. Let me just say that. I'm not painting all Catholics with the same paintbrush, but the guilt and shame. If things could have been handled differently across the board in so many ways, and to take out the guilt and shame and to introduce grace and forgiveness and say, yeah, you know what, you've gotten pregnant, but it's not the end of the world. These things do happen. Catholic Charities is going to help you through it, but we're not going to do it by hustling you away and being quiet about it and making you feel shameful your whole life because you've done this terrible thing. I wish there could be more grace within the church, and I don't just mean the Catholic Church. I mean the church as a universal, as a truly Catholic meaning universal body. I would love to see more grace and less judgment, less legalism, and all those things. This episode of The Havery Show is being brought to you by Heartland Tax and Accounting, 863-385-5020. If you would like to advertise or sponsor an episode of The Havery Show, call 863-381-6831. Imagine how different your mom's life may have looked if she didn't have to carry that.
Yeah. But, that's that whole butterfly effect.
Well, that's true.
If something had changed, you and I wouldn't be sitting here.
That's 100% right. And so we take it and we do the best we can.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, oh man.
Would my dad have married my mom if she was a single mom without, I don't know.
I don't know either. And it was a whole different world back then. And I understand that. I really do. I understand that. And hindsight is always 20/20, and it's easy to be a Monday morning quarterback.
No, it's great to sit and think about. And I'm sure, my dad's thought about that. And my mom's thought about that. And my brother's thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
My other brother that has been, estranged for all those years.
Yes.
And now part of the family, and his two daughters are around for holidays. And, he lives in Palm Bay. I live here. I don't get to see my mom and dad enough. I don't make a lot of special trips to Palm Bay to see my brother, but we wind up in the same place at the same time often.
So how did it turn out for him? Did he get a good set of adoptive parents, and did he have a good life? How did it turn out?
I think so, yeah. He grew up down in Miami.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had, I don't know. I grew up very middle class, but my parents especially, we didn't want for a lot of things. We didn't have a lot of things. We didn't need a lot of things, but we didn't want for a lot of things. And I don't think he did. He grew up riding dirt bikes. And,
nice.
But he went to South Florida. He was down in Miami somewhere was where he grew up.
Yeah.
And he has a half sister that we know her as well. She lives right in Seminole.
Oh wow! Do you ever on any kind of regular basis? Everybody gets together.
Yeah. Not regular, but yeah, it happens.
That's
life bangs into each other.
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah. How cool is that?
Yeah. No, it's been interesting and fun. I think I found out about Mike just months, not even a year, I don't think, before Tiff and I got married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what a great thing to find out, right? As if you don't have enough going on right before you're about to get married. You find that out too.
I'm somewhere around 40 years old and figuring out that I have another brother.
That is just awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn off this AC.
Okay.
Because it blows too loud into the microphone.
Ah.
That part I probably will edit out.
You don't have to.
So, it's you and your Bill and your brother Bill and your mom and dad.
Yeah.
And you stayed over there in Indian Rocks? That's where you...
They built a house in Seminole.
Okay. Is that where you went to school? Is that where you grew up?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So when I was born, they had already built the house, so they were already living in the new house.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's where I grew up there. When I went away to University of Florida, 18, they sold the house and moved only a few miles away, but they wanted to keep my brother in the same. They had built a new high school over there, and he wanted to stay at the high school he had started at.
Sure.
So they moved over just a few blocks over, and they live in that house now. So they've lived in 2 homes, one for 18 and one for 42.
I'll be darned.
Or something like that.
That's a whole lifetime right there. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You went to college. You went to UF. What did you go to college for?
I went to college with the intention of being a veterinarian, but that didn't work out for me. I didn't get great grades.
You know, those doggone grades and tests and homework papers and all that stuff, they really get in the way of everything.
Yeah, I mean, I went up there. I joined the fraternity. I was doing all the intramural athletics. I mean, I had a very busy schedule.
Oh, yeah.
It was very full.
I'll bet.
Just didn't have a lot of library time.
Yeah.
I really needed more library time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
18, idiot. Thought I was smarter than I was.
Not everybody is made for books and studying and tests.
Yeah.
I was one of those too. If I applied myself, I could get really good grades, but I just didn't have the interest, and I didn't have the discipline to crack down. And I was doing music all the time and making money. Mm-hmm. I had my mom telling me all the time, "Well, you don't need to go to college. You're gonna be a musician. So, what do you? It doesn't matter if." She's got me out at the bars at 11 years old, 12 years old, playing music on school nights. You don't worry about your grades. You're going to be doing music, and she was prophetic about it.
That's interesting because I would say most parents would be the opposite. Like, listen, this music is cute and fun, and not a lot of people make it. It's like just because you play baseball doesn't mean you're going to start for the Yankees in the World Series.
That's a fact. My mom looked at it differently, though. So for my mom was a waitress and a homemaker. So she never went to college. So she didn't think that her kids needed to either. She basically wanted them. She wanted all of us to be blue collar, regular people, not college people. So when my brother Peter decided he was going to go, she wasn't happy about it. But my mom really encouraged me in music because it got her a lot of attention. Oh, you're Harry's mom.
Right.
Oh, your little boy is the one that sings in mass on Sunday. Oh, Harry's the one that is that's your Harry's mom. Yeah. She really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of my kids too, so I can understand.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I can relate to that.
We all have self-esteem, and but we have other esteem.
Yes.
We worry about what people think about our wives. We worry about what people think about our parents, our kids. It's there. Yeah.
All that to say is I was always going to be a musician because that's how I was brought up, and I didn't know there was even another option. So blah, blah, blah. Back to you, because you're the guest on the podcast.
Yeah.
This episode of The Havery Show is being brought to you by Heartland Tax and Accounting, 863-385-5020. If you would like to advertise or sponsor an episode of The Havery Show, call 863-381-6831. So you're at UF. You're enjoying sports. What sports were you playing?
Well, I wrestled in high school and I swam in high school, and my mom would never sign the paperwork for me to play football. But we played soccer. We played, we didn't play the really high impact sport.
Yeah. Is it intramural stuff? And
yeah, once you got into college, it was competitive between the fraternities.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Did you finish up your duration there?
No, I made it 3 semesters.
Three semesters.
My mom and I decided it was a much better idea for me to come home, and so
Then what? So you went home. What did you do then?
I got my A at St. Pete College, junior college back then, and then I went over to USF. So I straightened myself up.
I gotcha.
Got moving in the right direction.
So your second go round at USF was better than your first go round at UF?
Yeah, much better.
Is it just because you were older and you've been there and done that and you've kind of run around a little bit and now you got to buckle down?
Yeah, I think so.
Just maturity.
Yeah.
So what did
I don't think I was mature until I was I was an idiot until I was in my early 30s. I just wasn't. I mean, I was doing things and I was getting things done, but yeah, no, I didn't always make the right choices.
Yeah. Well,
I was a little bit spoiled, maybe.
Sure.
I excelled in school in high school, but I don't think I never learned how to study. I didn't have to.
Yeah.
So when I went away to school, it was I was ill prepared. I was fine when I was competing for grades at the high school level. I didn't have to do much to get my A's and B's. But once all that I was lumped in with all the people that got A's, that's all they got in high school. I went from being one of the smarter kids in high school to one of the probably not smarter kids, one of the dumber kids at University of Florida. It's just. But I took all my zero skills to Gainesville and applied my zero skills at studying to got exactly the result you would expect.
Wow. So what ended up with USF? Do you ended up with a degree?
I didn't. So yeah, I was I applied to pharmacy school, and I was in my senior year. I was getting a chem degree, and I didn't get accepted, and I was a little dejected, and my girlfriend had a really good bartending job. She was making a ton of money, and I'd been a broke college student for 5.5 years at this point.
Yeah.
Because the first year and a half was not very good. But not a lot of credits earned. And so I got a bartending job, and I got a server job, turned into a bartender job, and pretty much been doing that my whole life. So yeah, I did not get my chemistry degree.
So you went from veterinarian school to wanting to become a pharmacist, to becoming a bartender and a businessman.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I really wanted to be a pharmacist. It was kind of like, once I realized I wasn't going to be a pharmacist or wasn't going to school that year, I knew a chemistry degree, my options at that point in the late 80s were go out to Texas and work in the oil industry, or go up into North Carolina and work in the textile industry. I was going to make clothes or carpet, but I was going to be working under fluorescent lights inside of, and
That's
it was
not
just,
you.
it wasn't me. So I think maybe your mom was not that my mom was wrong steering me towards college, but sometimes steering people in the direction of their heart is kind of the better way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tip my hat to her. She did the best she could with all of us.
Yeah.
With what she had at the time. So yeah, she did a good job. Somehow you end up, I don't know, I'm dying to know this. Somehow you end up in Sebring, Florida, and you see this Blue Lagoon. Now, what is that? Was that your first entrepreneurial enterprise?
It was. Yeah.
How'd you get from there to there to there to there to Sebring?
Yeah. So, that's a resume, I guess, which I haven't filled out in ever. But yeah, I got a job working at a place called Blueberry Hill on Harbor Island in downtown Tampa. And that was my first bartending job. And then I was only at that for maybe 7-8 months. And, got a job working over on top of the pier in St. Pete back then on the inverted pyramid pier.
Yes.
It was a place called Cha-Cha Coconuts. It was owned by the Columbia Restaurants. Yep. And so that was the first Cha-Cha Coconuts they opened. And so I went to work for them about only a few months after they opened over there. And I wound up working for them for 5 years and became a manager for their stores and that kind of thing. So that's where I cut my teeth on learning how to run restaurants.
Cha-Cha Coconuts. That is a
Coconuts.
blast from the past.
Tropical Bar and Grill.
Wow. And the pier, what a shame to see that thing go. That was an iconic piece of architecture.
Even when I worked at it in the 1990s, it was not like the beer trucks couldn't drive on it because it was not sound. Like they literally parked the beer trucks a half a mile away.
Oh, wow.
And they would load kegs into a van, or these guys would be coming running. They'd run a half mile or a quarter mile, whatever that pier was long, with kegs on a hand truck.
Man, oh man,
They couldn't let the big trucks out there.
Ain't that something? Wow, Cha-Cha Coconuts.
Yeah.
Dang. All right, so
then I went to work for a company called. I decided at my mom's. My mom encouraged me to do something other than bartend. She said, "What are you going to be, a 45-year-old bartender? What are you going to be, a 55-year-old bartender?" So I did. I went and got my license from the state of Florida to sell life insurance and annuities and securities and that kind of thing. And I went to work for MetLife. So I sold insurance. Group health insurance was mostly what I was doing.
I'll be darned. That's hard. Little hard. Personality-wise, I get it 100%.
Yeah.
But lifestyle-wise and vibe-wise, I just find that interesting.
Well, I'll let you know that when my alarm went off, I hated it. When I got up, I hated it. When I got in the shower, I hated it. When I got out and shaved, I hated it. When I put on my Seiko watch, I hated it. When I got in my Lincoln LSC and went and sold my insurance, I hated it. I didn't like it. I was making good money.
Sure.
And I caught myself not loving it. So one day I got stood up on an appointment. I'd waited. I had an appointment in the morning. I had an appointment in the afternoon, and it was Friday. And I went to the morning appointment and had a good appointment and closed the deal. And went home and got out of my suit and mowed my lawn and did some weed eating and did some thing and waited for this late in the afternoon appointment, 3:30 or 4 o'clock or something. I could meet this small business owner out on Treasure Island. And I went out there and his secretary said, "Oh, no, he went home." And I was like, I walked across the street. I sat down in the sand in my Calvin Klein suit and I said, "Nope, not doing this anymore."
That was it.
That was it. So I gave my boss my notice on Monday morning. So that was it.
What was your tenure on that? How long did you manage doing that?
About a year and a half. Yeah, about a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah. So and I had already picked up a part-time bartender gig in Ybor City at that point. So I was working Monday through Thursday and some Fridays selling insurance for MetLife, and then I was working Thursday, Friday, Saturday night in a bar in Ybor City. It was called Harpo's.
Harpo's.
Yeah, it was live music, 3 rooms. Yeah, the place was banging back then.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. So I made more money at the bartending than I did. So, I tried something different, but here I was.
Was your mom upset that you dropped the insurance gig?
I don't think so. I don't know. Yeah. So then I managed managed a place called Dogwater Cafe. Took one of their stores from beer and wine to full liquor, but those guys, there were 2 owners. They somehow gotten some dispute over the business that was enough that they had 4 restaurants and they split them. One took 2 and the other took 2, and I realized my opportunity for growth there had just been cut in half. They were expanding, but now are they going to expand if they're in legal battles and all that kind of thing?
Right.
Probably not. So, my assistant manager in in Tampa came to me and said, "I know you're not going to stay here." I said, "How do you know that?" He goes, I just know. He's like, if you're going to go do something on your own, I want to go with you. So that was Rob McDarby. And, the McDarby. 2 of us encouraged each other, and we went out. And so that's how we wound up in Sebring. We found an ad in the Tampa Tribune. It said, "Sports bar on busy Highway 27. Now, it didn't say busy sports bar on Highway 27. It said sports bar on busy Highway 27. And those people, Wes and Betty, that had started the Blue Lagoon, they took over the lease in February of 98. They opened in March of 98. We found it for sale in June of 98, contracted on it in July, and closed on it in August. They thought it would be fun to own a bar in their retirement years.
Oh, wow.
They realized within 2 months that owning a bar wasn't retirement.
I've been here my whole life, and for the life of me, I can't remember that building being anything other than what it is. Was it built as a...
No, you will remember what it was when I say it. It was the Ho King. It was the Chinese restaurant.
Chinese restaurant.
Uh-huh.
Holy moly, I haven't thought of that in decades.
Yep. And the apartment on the backside, that's the Chinese guy that owned it. All of his workers lived in that. He built that apartment complex, and that was one big property.
Ho King.
Ho King. And it had been a pump store before that. Like Ryle's Pumps.
Yeah, Ryle's
Pump.
Pump,
Like that.
yeah.
I don't know what the name on it was, but it was
I'll be
originally built as a
darned.
pump store. And we found out that the hard way because we went out and bought this really cool kitchen equipment and brought it there, this 220 single phase.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, this place was 220 three phase or 240 three phase. So we spent like $8,000, guys that didn't have any money on these turbo chef ovens that didn't work. So
Wow.
but we got somebody to drop a leg. We had an electrician come in and we made it work.
Yeah, well, sure.
I didn't know a difference between single phase and three phase electricity when I was 32 years old.
Yeah, especially if you're going into the restaurant or the restaurant and bar business, not necessarily the electricity business. Yeah, how would you know? Yeah. Well, maybe if you had spent more time studying, young man, back.
Yeah. But I guess three phase is more efficient for pumps and motors and things than single phase.
Yeah.
So it had been a three phase original build.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Ho King.
Ho King.
Dang.
Yeah, I knew you'd remember. Everybody remembers the Ho King.
Yeah. Wow. I don't want to say. Well, for me, it was a forgotten place. I had forgotten about it. I'm going to start dropping that name around and see who remembers it now.
I think it closed in 95 or 96.
That late.
I think so. It was the guy went into bankruptcy for whatever reason. They wound up, the court split the property, so the Blue Lagoon is separate from the apartment complexes at that point.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Wow. This episode of The Havery Show is being brought to you by Heartland Tax and Accounting. 863-385-5020. If you would like to advertise or sponsor an episode of The Havery Show, call 863-381-6831. So you now have, it was the Blue Lagoon when you...
It was called the Blue Lagoon Saloon, and we didn't want to change things too much, It wasn't necessarily the name I would have picked, but now it's a little bit of a tiny icon in Sebring.
It really is. Was Scarlett up top there when you got it?
No, we did.
Put Scarlett up there?
Yep.
I may or may not have had a crush on Scarlett for a long time.
She lived inside for a while.
I think she's back inside now.
Is she?
I think so. I was there yesterday with Devin and Patrick and Jordan.
Oh, nice.
And there's a type of Scarlett right back there. But
Yeah.
I don't know if that it's actually her.
I know she's been repainted lots of times.
I always wanted to offer to repaint Scarlett for free.
You could have.
But I never had the time or the gumptions to do it. But yeah. Scarlett. She's a cutie.
Pirate wench.
Pirate wench. I mean, what guy doesn't like a pirate wench?
Well, yeah.
It's Halloween. Maybe I can go to Spirit Halloween and buy Dawn a pirate wench costume.
Sure you can. Sure you can.
So you now have the Blue Lagoon Saloon, and there's possibly a waitress there that catches your eye.
Yeah, well, not one. Variety's the spice of life. It turns out, though, you're only supposed to have one wife.
Yes. That's correct.
That's when you just don't do that anymore. Yeah.
So I've heard Tiff's version of this, which she was on the podcast. Tell me how that little romance budded and started and became what it is.
Well, I was married at the time when we hired Tiffany. She came to work for us, and but my marriage kind of fell apart completely independent of whether Tiffany was in my life or not. And so, yeah, I wound up divorcing my first wife. And it was a tough time. And I don't know, one of these girls, I'd be closing the restaurant by myself normally, and one of them stopped leaving with all the other girls and was hanging around in the office. And we were getting to know each other better than boss and an employee type thing. And, it took us, it probably took us 6 months before we decided it was a good idea to hang out. But, I'd recently divorced. She had recently broken up. She was an employee. Yep. That's never a good idea.
That's right.
She needed the job more than she needed me. If her and I didn't work out, was she going to have to quit her job? Or, was I going to be nice to her? Was I not going to be nice to her? Was I going to can her? There were a lot of working parts there that we had to just kind of work out. And but we were able to do it. And that was in 2004.
Yeah, already.
So here we are 21 years later. Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys, wow, you talk about Sebring's power couple.
People say that, but I don't. I just
amazing.
Don't see it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't think about it like that at all.
Well, that's probably what makes you that. The fact that you don't see it, that you don't run around with, that whole kind of arrogant vibe. You guys have the most down to earth, sweet, just come as you are. I love that about the two of you. I just love it.
Well, I'm glad that somebody sees that, and I'm glad that you like that.
I've seen it all along.
I'm not as nice a guy as you seem to think I am, but but I try. Kindness is free, and I always try to be kind, and I always try to treat people fairly, and I'm better at that now than I was when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it is a maturing process thing, and it is a learning to hold your tongue kind of thing. You've never been anything but kind to me.
Well, good.
Every once in a while, you throw a zinger out there to make me wonder. But it always keeps me guessing, keeps me on my toes. And Tiff,
yeah,
I mean, come on, you're gonna get the real, authentic Tiff right now.
Yeah.
The minute you talk to her for the first time, you're getting the real deal.
Yeah.
There is no pretension. There is no facade. There is full on Tiff right now. Ready or not, here we go. And I love that.
The conviction is solid.
It is so solid.
Yeah. Like if she believes in it, it's done.
Oh yeah.
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 So
I'm lucky to have her.
Well, you're I'll take it farther. You're lucky to have each other. I think that you pair really well together.
I think we do too.
Complement each other in so many different ways.
Yeah. I think one of the things is I think because of the way we first started dating, and from that very first point, we didn't have expectations, and we weren't promising each other. So, hey, we'll give it a try. If it doesn't work out, let's not have hard feelings, and let's not, you keep working here, and I'll keep working here, and we'll just keep having a good life, just minus this little piece. Like it's not earth shattering, and so I think the early no expectations has been. I just believe in that for couples, Hope for the best and expect nothing, and you'll probably be pretty happy.
That's good marriage advice.
Yeah.
It's good business advice. It's good friend advice. That's just pretty much good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think of, like, I don't know if I'm a good husband or she's a good wife, or I don't know how you quantitate that. Mm-hmm. But I've always been a firm believer in I think that whatever effort I put into a relationship, I should get more out of it than I put in. That's very selfish. I also think that Tiffany should get more out of our relationship than she puts in. I think we both should be able to put effort and commitment and everything into the relationship, and both of us come out better for it.
Yeah, I think that that's very astute and wise. And I've often heard it said, marriage is 50-50. Well, it's not. It's 100 and 100.
Yeah.
And if you're only given 50, I mean, it's got to
Right.
be something. It's got you got to be all in on it, or you're in
the
trouble.
effort doesn't always, it doesn't always add up for everybody. It's always added up for me with her. So.
You know, being a good husband or a good this or a good that, it all just comes down to kind of being a good person. And at your core, you're a good person. I see that. People who know you see that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everybody does, and that's okay.
That's okay. That's their business. That's their problem. That's their whatever. But yeah, my experience with you has always been 100% copacetic and cool. And
well, good. I'm glad I've done a good job with you.
you really have.
I don't always do a good job with everybody, and my filter, like that whole with Tiffany, you get what you get, and I kind of feel this. Yeah, I'm not always good at filtering. Not always good at filtering. I could be more gentle sometimes. And how I deal with
maybe not. But I haven't seen that really. I've seen a couple of little things that have made me crack up.
Yeah.
You know, when we were at Gavaghan's a couple of weeks ago, and there was a certain representative there, and you said something to the effect of, "Hey, Tiff, here's the representative that voted to get our paintings painted over."
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. So but that was comical too.
Apparently, I was wrong on that, though. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
I mean, our representative did vote for I wasn't wrong about that, but apparently I was lied to about where the legislation was by another elected official.
Yeah, and lied to is lied to shows, I think, intent to harm. Misinformed, could be another way of looking at it.
Yeah.
So I don't know wherever you got the first batch of information. I don't know if
it was
they
from
were,
the news, but why are we reading the news?
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah. I'm a much happier person when I don't spend a lot of time going down these rabbit holes.
This phone, I'm so sick of this phone. I've got a friend, Jerry DeWind, Gerard is his name, but he goes by Jerry. He's at all my shows that he doesn't have to buy anything or pay for.
Okay.
So that's why you've never seen him at the backyard, and you never will, because he's not going to spend a nickel. He's gonna show up. He'll bring his chair. He'll sit right in front of me and listen to my show. He'll do that all over the place if it doesn't cost anything.
Okay.
So my band is playing at the college.
Yep.
Saturday. So I got him. I comp him whenever the band is playing somewhere. I comp him. So the process for getting a ticket is you have to get him a comp. I have to send him an email. He has to print the email, take it to Will Call with his photo ID. Well, he doesn't have a printer. Like, okay, well, you can use your phone. He doesn't have a phone. All that to say, I am so jealous of Jerry DeWind for being able to live and succeed in 2025 with no phone.
Right.
I want that.
Yeah.
I want that bad.
Yeah.
And I'm too much of a chicken.
I have an employee, not an old guy, a young guy. No phone.
That's the way, man.
I don't know if he has a bank account. I mean, I don't ask, We've definitely had employees at the restaurants over the years where you had to cut them a check.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a bank account.
Mm-hmm.
They go to my bank to cash it.
Yep.
There must be a mattress of money just slam full somewhere because no phone, no car. So when no car, there's no car payment. There's no car insurance.
That's right.
There's no registration of your tag.
That's right.
You walk to work or you ride your bike. And if you're making real money and you don't have any real bills, where is it? And you don't have a bank account, where is it?
Yeah.
It's somewhere.
It's somewhere tucked away.
Lots of places, hopefully, so it all doesn't disappear in one fell swoop for something bad to happen.
Fire or something, God
Yeah.
forbid. Yeah. Oof. That is very appealing.
Yeah.
The thought of that is very, very appealing.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could do it, but it's very appealing.
Yeah.
I have to have Facebook and stuff, phone for my business. I tell myself that, but do I really?
Well, you probably do in today's day and age, but yeah. I mean, how else are they going to find you?
Well,
Come down and knock on the door?
Yeah, I could do it on a website. I've got a website, so I could probably bypass Facebook, but people are used to seeing it there, and I have to promote things. You can promote things on Facebook. I'm not going to promote anything on my website because who gives a crap about my website? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't visit it often enough to
So
have impact.
I do need it. It is, but man, there's part of me that just yearns for a simpler time.
Mm-hmm.
Can you
As soon
imagine?
as you don't have it, you want to look something up.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
How often do you grab it and not even think about it?
all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like it. I am addicted to my phone.
You can get a flip phone.
Got one. Didn't use it.
Yeah.
I got one. I was going to put this one on my nightstand, and this was going to be my landline.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't going to carry it with me. And I got that flip phone, and I gave the number to my family in case there was an emergency. How long do you think that lasted? That's when I was managing the Circle Theater. You know,
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way. I had to be constantly, even just for security alarm, I had to be available to give a code or something.
My life has changed dramatically since we opened the hotel here on the Circle.
Can't imagine.
I never considered the possibilities when we were conceptualizing these ideas. My wife and Brandy and Mark and my brother and Bill and Jackie, and we're all cooking up these plans for this building and submitting it to the CRA and getting going. And I did not consider calls at 1, 2, 3 in the morning checking on their reservation for 2 weeks from now.
And they do that.
They think we're the Bellagio in Las Vegas and we have a front desk that works 24/7. And, it's been, I have to keep the phone on at night.
Sure.
Because what if something happens at one of the properties?
That's right.
You can't ignore a guest that can't get in their room or stuck in the elevator, or,
Yeah.
But then I get calls from all over the world. They don't think about it. Like the next morning, I was like, who called me at 2 a.m? Because I was just like, I can't help you at 2 a.m. No. Call back tomorrow.
Yeah.
And, but I looked up the country code and it was China.
China.
So it makes sense, It was middle of the day for them.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Why not call over here?
Yeah, that's. I guess.
I would hope that I would think about if I was making plans to go to China, that I wouldn't be calling a small hotel in China at their 2 a.m.
I would hope that I would have that wherewithal too, but probably I wouldn't if I'm being honest.
Right.
Yeah, when our kids moved over to Montana and Oregon, I never got the timing right on that either, and that was only 2 and 3 hours.
Right.
So let alone a whole half the world away.
Yeah. I used to just do not disturb on my phone. It was programmed. 10:30 rolled around. My phone did not ring until 8:30 or 9 the next morning, whatever I had it set for. That all went away when we got a hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure your lives have changed dramatically since you got that hotel.
Yeah. I'm not complaining, I don't think.
Sure.
But I might be a little bit.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's
my choice. We did it to ourselves.
Yeah. Well, you did it to yourselves, but you did it for us, whether that was the goal or not. So on behalf of a grateful city, thank you for doing that.
Well, thank Tiffany.
Well,
it was her. She loved that old building, and she had actually tried to lease space in that building a couple years prior to us and the CRA acquiring it. So, yeah, we just do what we're told as good husbands, right? Just out there.
That's what we try to do.
Yeah.
We try to hit the mark.
Yeah.
This episode of The Havery Show is being brought to you by Heartland Tax and Accounting, 863-385-5020. If you would like to advertise or sponsor an episode of The Havery Show, call 863-381-6831. I always like to close with something a little bit off the beaten path, a little bit off center.
Sure.
You can be a fly on the wall, literally a fly on the wall, with all of your human knowledge and attributes at any given time or place since the beginning of time. You can be a witness to any event in any place throughout all of time. And you can spend basically one day, anywhere, any when, watching an event unfold. What would it be? You can't affect it, and you can't be a part of it. You're just going to sit back and watch it.
So I'm just
you're a fly in the wall.
Fly in the wall.
Yeah,
you can't have dinner or a conversation.
You're not going to get to speak. You're not going to get to talk, and no one's going to notice you. You're just going to be able to be physically present in that time for one day, one 24-hour period. but you can't affect anything because no one will. You're like a ghost, basically.
Resurrection of Yeshua.
Wow. Wow. Now
That's the part I would want. Yeah, if I could be anywhere and just witness that.
pivotal.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's everything.
We watch people go to war over whether that happened or not.
That's right.
We watch people do horrible things in the name of that happening.
Yeah.
I want to see that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that would sure put a lot of things to rest, wouldn't it?
No, not for everybody else, but would for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to me that you said Yeshua.
Why is that interesting?
Well, because most people won't say Yeshua HaMashiach. They'll say Jesus Christ, Jesus the Messiah. So it's interesting to me. It's interesting the name that you chose.
Well, yeah, I'm in a what I think is a very good habit of not discussing religion and politics to too much of a degree.
Sure. And you don't feel any need to answer it, but I just found it interesting, and so I'm curious as to why you picked that.
Well, because that was the name. I mean, just some humans, when they were canonizing a new Bible, just decided to change names and rewrite things and rewrite spellings and, all the things that happened between 0 AD and the 14, 15, 1600s AD and what's happened since then. I mean, it's
happening right now.
We would like to ignore the human element in the Bible and in the stories, but they get handed down or they get modified to fit certain rulers' needs and requests at the time. We're foolish if we don't think that happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for part 2.
Oh, yeah.
We'll put together a panel and we'll have a real discussion.
It'd be fun.
It really would.
Well, and it's educational. I having grown up Roman Catholic, went to Catholic school, not a good practicing Catholic because I didn't believe all the things that the Catholic Church was teaching me. And I wasn't, that happened at a pretty young age, my nuns and my priests were telling me that, there were kids in my neighborhood that there was no place in heaven for them because they weren't Catholic. And I was like, man, this is the nicest kid I ever met. Yeah. He does nice things for everybody. He's got a genuine heart and he really cares. And just because he wasn't born Catholic, I just didn't believe it. I wasn't a buyer. Even at 8, 9, 10 years old, I was like, this don't sound right. Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Wow. This is.
People don't think I know a lot. I don't talk about religion a lot. I'm not a good practicer of religion.
My kind of guy.
But, religion comes with its own bag of problems that following Christ doesn't.
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. I'm not a good worshiper of Jesus, but I would like to think I'm a good follower of he and his ways.
Isn't that what we were called to do anyway?
I think that's what he told us to do.
That's kind of what it is.
Yeah. He didn't say go out and build a bunch of churches.
No, he did not.
And collect a bunch of money.
No, he did not.
He said, follow me.
That's right. Yeah. We're going to have a good conversation when I turn this off.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you so much.
I love you, man. I really appreciate everything that you do.
Yeah, thanks for asking me to come out. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it's been a good experience.
Yeah. So we've got all the good personal background information. People are going to love that, by the way. There's so many people in town who know Bob and Tiff, but don't know Bob and Tiff. And having Tiff on, that really was enlightening to a lot of people. And I think they enjoyed hearing her story. And I know they're going to enjoy hearing your story too. So now that we've done your stories, now we can have you back on and have a real debate about some stuff.
That'd be fun.
I don't know that it'd be much of a debate. I think that we're going to be pretty well on the same page on a whole lot of things.
But it's also it's okay to have a dissenter at the table.
It is.
At a lot of religious talk tables, I would be considered the dissenter, but at some other ones, it's good to have. You can't have a debate without a pros and a cons. And,
Absolutely.
But that's how we all get smarter and more tolerant.
At least
and nicer.
That's the idea.
That's the idea.
Yeah. You asked about Bobby Graham.
I did.
So every phone call, and we're going to end the podcast on this, she would say, peace out, shalom, be kind.
Oh, good for her. Yeah. Peace out, shalom, be kind.
Yep.
It's free and easy.
Free and easy.
Yeah.
All right.
We're out. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
The Havery Show has been brought to you by Heartland Tax and Accounting, 863-385-5020.
Glory to the name